A studio audience. Thank you guys for coming in here this evening. We have a studio beast running around here as well, and PorcFest has been a lot of fun so far. We're just about halfway through. I guess a little over halfway through at this point, and the fun is going to crank up even more, I think, in the next couple of days as more people arrive. Obviously, Friday is going to be a big day for people showing up because some people can't get the whole week off to attend the Porcupine Freedom Festival. As I haven't really had the whole week off. I've kind of been working, kind of been vacationing all at once. And of course, Johnson Rice with me here. Hey, Johnson.
Hey.
We've got on our third microphone Shire Dude, aka Andrew Vermilio. Welcome.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Good to have you here. I've heard about Shire Dude, but I don't know much about the concept. You're a new mover to New Hampshire, newer than some people.
Yeah, like a month ago, man. I got here on the 14th of last month.
That's pretty cool. And you came from where?
California. Los Angeles, Orange County area.
So that's a big change. Was it a culture shock at all for you, or were you kind of ready to move to the woods?
I moved into Manchester, like
It's the woods compared to Los Angeles, though.
It's like a suburb of California.
Okay.
It's very similar, and also I've been listening to enough Free Talk Live and other various Free Stater podcasts that I was immersed in the culture long before I got here.
You'll have to have a conversation with him again midwinter.
Oh, yeah. Are you a California native?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I remember watching some video footage from LA news clips, like, news team kind of, the talking heads that they have on the news channels. And they were all freaking out over it being like 55 degrees or something. And that's how it was in Florida as well. I mean, when it would come down to the 50s and everybody would be all bundled up. And around here, people are still walking around in shorts.
Don't touch your car with wet hands during winter.
Did you learn that the hard way?
There's lots of different things. I mean, like the movie, The Pole, where the kid licks the pole.
Yes.
But yes, I have.
There's a lot of movies that have
some moisture in my hands and had my. I haven't gotten stuck, thankfully, but where I came close.
Yikes. So what motivated you? I mean, you said you were kind of connected to some of the media, learning about what was happening here, but what brought you in the first place? How did you find out about the Free State Project?
Oh man, let's see. I was looking up Ron Paul videos on YouTube.
Mm-hmm. How did you find Ron Paul?
Oh man, Ron Paul, his name was everywhere.
Okay, 2008 to 2012?
In 2008 I heard about him, but that was the extent of it. Like I heard his name, and then
so it's a good thing he ran again then, right? Because 2008 seemed to be a big year for Ron Paul, but he built off of that in 2012 and reached even more people.
Yeah, and so I'm looking up all sorts of Ron Paul videos in 2011, 2012, and of course the Free Staters are geniuses. They put Ron Paul as a tag on everything.
Dave Ridley does that frequently.
Running into Dave Ridley videos, and I remember my first Dave Ridley video that I saw, I was like, this guy's kind of weird, and I clicked away. But I'm glad I didn't click away from all of them, because some of them really got to me, especially Derek J's Victimless Crime Spree.
Oh, excellent, excellent. And so I imagine you have since met Derek J in real life.
Yeah.
He also just moved to New Hampshire, moving back to New Hampshire after his 2-year-long exile. So that, of course, is one of my favorite films. I was the executive producer of Derek J's Victimless Crime Spree, and what a pleasure it was to work on that. It was a new experience for me as an activist. I mean, I've done a lot of media creation, doing radio and doing short videos, but to be involved in creating a full feature-length documentary like that was something new. And working out as the executive producer, I kind of did all the businessy kind of things that were happening. So figuring out the DVD details and putting that together. I didn't do the editing; that was Bo Davis, and now, of course, he's on another project, which is the 101 Reasons film. 101 Reasons, New Hampshire, or Freedom Lives in New Hampshire, I believe is what they're calling it. And so there's just so much exciting media. You're kind of a media guy as well, from what I understand.
Yeah, I'm a bit of a mediophile, and that I consume whatever I can get. And so now I'm working on Shire Dude, which the concept kind of comes from Garrett Eaton's AKPF #1.
Oh, really? Does he know that?
Well, yeah. I've told him. I've said on multiple occasions, that guy's my hero. Like, I love his work. I like that kind of like absurd humor.
Yeah, it's very bizarre. AKPF #1. I don't know if you call it avant-garde or whatever, but it's very bizarro.
Yeah, that kind of stuff, and also the work of Vermin Supreme, my good friend.
I've heard he's coming. Is it true?
He has messaged me and told me he might show up tomorrow.
That's
Yeah.
good. Yeah, I've definitely heard that from more than one source now. Vermin Supreme, how do you describe who that is?
He's the future president of the United States. I think he will give us all one free pony once he's elected.
I almost voted for him in 2012 in the Democratic primary, but I ended up voting for Ron Paul instead.
Yeah.
He was actually, I could actually vote for Ron Paul in the Democratic primary in New Hampshire, so I did do that. And of course, Ron Paul took #2 in the Democratic race.
That's fantastic.
Here in New Hampshire. Vermin Supreme, quite a character. We've had him on Free Talk Live in the past. He actually came to the Liberty Forum event a couple of years ago, so if he does come here to PorcFest, it won't be his first Free State Project experience.
Oh yeah, he's told me he considers the Free Staters his constituents.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. I mean, that guy really gets along with us here, and he's a lot of fun. And of course, for those that know, he does. Those that don't know, he wears a boot on his head throughout his campaign. And did he actually change his name to Vermin Supreme? I believe he
His
did.
legal name is Vermin Love Supreme.
Okay. So you come up to PorcFest and you can meet all kinds of interesting people like this, and so many more. I mean, there's more than you can possibly meet here. Let's go to take some phone calls here, if you don't mind, Andrew. You can stick with us through this. We've got Greg in New York. You're on Free Talk Live with Ian, Johnson, and Andrew. We are having some technical difficulties. I hope you're there, Greg. Are you with us?
Yes.
Okay, great.
I can hear you guys. How are you?
Great. Go ahead with your thoughts.
Sure. Well, I called in a few times before and we were talking about kind of the legitimacy of state. I kind of wanted to switch the topic a little bit and talk about freedom and what kind of system would maximize freedom for people.
Go for it.
So basically, I think what anarcho-capitalists, at least with most libertarians in America, want to have is a free market system to somehow get rid of the current government structure, and then I suppose have a marketplace where the money and the services would all be issued by private entities. Is that right?
Well, I mean, you define private entities, and you just mean anything that's not government. I mean, for instance, Bitcoin, we don't even know who issued Bitcoin. There's someone calling themselves Satoshi Nakamoto, who may be more than one person. We really don't know who Satoshi is, and Andrew's indicating it was actually him. But, you know, is Bitcoin a private organization? I don't even know how you define that.
Right, so with Bitcoin, it's a special thing. It's now possible for the person to continue decentralized control.
But if by private organization you mean anything that's not a coercive monopoly, then I guess, yeah, you're right. I think that having a money system that is competitive, that is open, an open market in money would definitely be beneficial. Whether it's a charitable group or private corporate, private company, or some sort of anonymous person releasing money. I don't care who it is. I just care, is it good money? Does it work? And Bitcoin, of course, works.
Right. Right. Okay. So I want to leave aside all the questions of feasibility, like whether it's possible or whether it will revert back to control. Someone will take control. I just want to talk about which system would maximize freedom, because that's basically what the goal is, right?
Sure.
So, okay. So basically, the thing is with the market system, there is still a lot of coercion, and there's actually an economic term for that. It's called market discipline. For corporations and companies, what that means is if the company does not produce products people want, it doesn't get money, it doesn't get resources, so it can't keep it up for a long time.
Okay.
It can't do it forever. So when market discipline applies to companies, that's a good thing, because the market sends a signal that we don't need whatever the company offers. The company runs out of resources and might want to do something else. But with people, it gets a little hard. And I think this is the main problem with the theory of free markets, is that people are also subject to market discipline under free markets, and people who cannot provide services for others or provide services that are not useful enough economically, and there's lots of people like that, unfortunately, if they run out of resources, they die.
All right, stand by. I think we should talk further about this, Greg. We're going to bring you back here in a moment. Seems a little fear-mongering, but maybe he's on to something. We'll find out here and get him to kind of explain a little bit further what he's saying. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE. Is it coercive to have a free market?
No. Sorry, folks. No. Freedom's not going to work. No. What about the goddamn paraplegics? Jesus Christ. Give it up!
Where's Ruoff Peter?